I'm Rebecca Hale, and I'm 38 years old, the CEO of a logistics company that grew from nothing into a name people recognize. But nothing in my life ever felt as strange as the afternoon I found a stranger's wallet on the sidewalk outside a coffee shop and decided, against every instinct that told me to just hand it to the barista, to look inside for identification myself, because something about the worn brown leather made me pause. And when I opened it, I saw a driver's license belonging to a man named Daniel Reyes, 34, and tucked behind a faded receipt was an old photograph, creased and soft at the corners, of a woman standing in front of a small house with a baby in her arms. And my hands started shaking because that woman was my mother, younger than I had ever seen her, smiling in a way I didn't remember from my childhood, and I sat down right there, on the curb, trying to understand why a stranger would be carrying a picture of my mother in his wallet. So I called the number listed on his insurance card, and within 20 minutes, a tired-looking man arrived, apologizing for the trouble. His daughter Lily, maybe 6 years old, holding his hand and clutching a stuffed rabbit, and I asked him gently about the photograph, and he went quiet for a long moment before telling me it was a picture of his mother, not mine, and that they simply looked identical because his mother and my mother were sisters, separated as young women after a family, falling out none of us had ever been told about, his mother raised in poverty, 2 states away while mine married into comfort and never spoke of a sibling again, and Daniel had never known he had a cousin, let alone one running a company whose delivery trucks he sometimes saw on the highway during his shifts as a warehouse worker, working nights while raising Lily alone since his wife passed 2 years earlier. And standing there on that sidewalk, I felt my whole understanding of my family shift, because my mother, before she died 5 years ago, had carried a silence I never understood. And here was proof that somewhere she had loved a sister she was forced to walk away from. And instead of saying goodbye and going back to my office that day, I asked Daniel if he wanted to get coffee so we could actually talk. And that conversation turned into dinner. And dinner turned into me learning about his mother's hard life, about the medical bills that buried him after his wife's illness, about how he had been quietly drowning while still showing up every day for his little girl. And something in me refused to just walk away and pretend I hadn't seen what I'd seen. So I helped him the way family should, connecting him with a stable position at my own company where his shifts would let him actually be home for bedtime, and setting aside a fund for Lily's education because no child of my mother's blood should grow up wondering if she'd get the chances I was handed without ever earning them. And slowly Daniel and Lily became the family gathering I never knew I was missing. Holidays filled again. A little girl calling me Aunt Becca and falling asleep on my couch during movie nights. And I've come to believe that wallet wasn't lost by accident. That some threads pull themselves back together no matter how long they've been frayed. And that kindness, even the small kind that starts with returning a stranger's wallet, has a way of rewriting a life you thought was already written. If you like this story, please hit like, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories for more.